installing more lights into the studio. We're going to replace this light with that light, and then that light is going to go over there. And then this fan box we have to move over a little bit in order to fit in between the shelves. So, and the way the wiring is going to work is we have two switches there. One is fans, one is lights, and it's a 14-3. We're going to change it so that the light wire controls the lights, the lights, the lights, the lights on that fan, and then the light over there. And then the other switch will control the fans. So we'll have to open this box and join the fan wire from that lead over to this lead, because I don't think I connected it, because it wouldn't make any sense to send that power over there. So then we'll take another 14-3 off of here and bring the fan and light wires over here, down there, back over to this box, and then we'll take a 14-2, which will take the light power back over to here, down that way, over there, and over to that light. Now, of course, this would have been easier to do if this stuff wasn't here, but this is an afterthought because this shelf was not originally going to go here. It was originally going to go over there. So that was a change that took place midway through the project, and it was a very good change. This is a much better layout, and I'm glad I thought of this at the time. But that does result in this now needing to be reworked. So I guess we'll start by taking this down. We'll put the outlet up, and then once I've done working in this space, we can then take all this stuff off the top, put it in this space, and then we'll have to deal with whatever goes on over there. This has to come down, so we'll take care of that now. Oh, we don't have to work in the dark. We can switch on more lights. That's a nice thing to have. This fan is such a piece of junk. This is probably the worst ceiling fan I've ever worked with. It's just awful. It's an awful product. Probably shouldn't cover up the telephone. Surprised the threads this goes into are even metal. Turn the torque all the way down to the lowest setting. Yeah, that saves a little bit of time. That's good. I work so slow I can use all the time savings I can get. Magnetic bits are a wonderful thing. Simple concept, but super useful. I don't have to really worry about the finish of these blades because it looked like crap right out of the box, so it's not going to get damaged sitting on the table. that one doesn't thread properly. Probably never did from day one. So unfortunately, we got to take down all this stuff here. This is not going to be used anymore. It was a good concept, but you know, reality be it, this is not a good testing space for ceiling fans in the first place. Because the way the ceiling is, you can't even get a good assessment of how the performance is in a real world environment. So it just was never really destined to work. Just slip that junk under there for now. Got that economy cool czars there. Make nice a mess here. Making a good mess on that table. All right. We're actually going to reuse this outlet and this box. It's too bad this wire isn't longer. I would just reuse that piece of wire, but it's not long enough. This fan box will still be used here. We just have to move it over a little bit. Well, that's an interesting situation. What the heck is the expectation of how that's supposed to work? Well, it can't go like that because you won't be able to screw it in while it's on the ceiling. I guess this is the only way that it can go. It's like that. Huh. How stupid. I've installed quite a few of these boxes and I don't recall that being an issue elsewhere. Very interesting. You know what, this is not even the connector that I wanted to use. I like to use these connectors I prefer because it has this, I don't like the way these clamp on as much, but I like that with these, you can't insert the wire too far, so you don't have to worry about the wires inside the box getting sliced by the sharp edge. So, although you can use these, they work just fine. I preferred these. And actually, in this case, this works out a lot better because we can do this and we don't have to worry about we can resolve that screw freak show. Because now we can adjust the screw here. This will go in and out just fine, and this will go in and out just fine. So that's a double solution right there. I gotta punch out the second because there is going to be a yes, there is a pass-through on this. Okay, so this box is all set. Sounds like a bell. So let's get this down now. And these are going to be reused somewhere else. These are not getting removed from service. These are important to have because these are one of the very, very few vintage artifacts that came with this house. These were originally downstairs on the other side near where the cleaning stuff is. There used to be a bench over there. Actually, this bench is like a descendant of that bench. I used a few pieces from it, and these lights were over that bench. Oh, changing plans. I thought I had used a 3-wire all the way over, but I didn't. I only used 2-wire. Huh. Oh, I guess I was getting a little cheap and wanted to save a few bucks. All right. Well, what we can do to remedy that is we can just run. Oh, now it gets kind of confusing. That really kind of threw a wrench in the gears here. I wish I knew about this before, because I would have just started over entirely had I known this. I almost started over completely, but I said, nah, there's no point, because we got all this, this is fine. But now I wish I had started over, because this is no longer fine. Well, there's 2 ways we can fix this. We can cancel that piece of wire out and then go back to here and replace it from here over, or we can add a second piece of wire just in that track there. The only problem with that is it now becomes flaky, because if we put a second piece of identical wire, you're not going to have the red, and then therefore you're not going to know which wire goes to what. And I don't really want to do it halfway. I want it done correctly. So, I guess we really should just start over again, because yeah, if I have to replace back to here, I might as well just replace that too and make it all uniform. I have the wire. I already have the wire. This piece of wire is old. It's about 20 years old. I don't mind putting it down here, but I'm not going to pass this through the wall anywhere. It doesn't make any sense. It's already 30% through its lifespan. So what I could do is this is 12.3. I can use this and just redo it. I don't think that that's a significant loss. And then it'll end up looking better, because now it's uniform. It makes that a waste of time, because I just fixed that earlier today. But okay, that's I'm not happy about that. Now I wonder if I should start over from there and kind of work backwards, because I don't want to put anything more on the shelf, because I got to take everything off to put that in. So maybe I will start over there. I'll put the outlet in. I'll tack that up, put the outlet in, and run this wire and just let it sit, because it just has to go to this bay. So I can put the 14.2 in, start the 14.3 and just let it hang over there. And then, yeah, because the light's going to be in this bay. I think that's what I'm doing. I think I'm going to work backwards in this case. Let's just separate that so I can still use it. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work backwards so that I can do this tonight, and then maybe I'll do that tomorrow. because I'll just take that fan down and I'll just do a proper video of taking it down and putting it back. Okay, that stinks, but sometimes it happens, and you just have to take a few steps backwards in order to go forwards again, and that's what we're going to have to do here. Panasonic Ideas for Life. I don't think we're going to invert that one. That'd get kind of morbid. I guess the benefit here is we didn't get very far, so I only put one, if I put both lights up and it's like, oh, now I gotta undo everything. At least we only messed up one way. You mess it up, it's just something that surfaced. Ah! That blade is such a piece of junk. Ow. Ocean cardboard. Land plastic. Very useful. I think we might be able to take that off. Ugh, a stupid cold white bulb. Keep forgetting to change that out. Hate cool white. Okay, there's that. We can reuse that if we want to or not. It's vintage. Certainly not just going to throw it out. Okay. So, continuing with the snake theme, we'll just put the out. This is kind of dirty. I thought I had cleaned this over here. There's cobwebs and trash all over the place. This is completely overkill for the task, but it'll be easier than going upstairs to get another vacuum. Actually, we need this on still. Now this is a stupid 12 amps. Hopefully it doesn't trip out the thing here. It might. I'll just go quick. Okay, so we want to center the light approximately in this area. So and be careful, make sure no tools fall during this. I'm just going to take this stuff down. It's not worth the risk. I'm going to need this anyways. So that is 150. So 75 and 75 is 150, right? Yeah, so 75. So actually this, within a couple centimeters, this is our reference point. So we'll put the outlet right around here. Probably, we'll put it, let's see, because we want the light to be able to screw in. So I think we'll stick the outlet right here, and then the light can go here. Oh, this is all a 5/8 situation. That's okay, but let me see if we have something different. I don't have any other surface mount single gang boxes like this. So, actually, wait a minute. This is a non-issue because I can use this one. I can use this one here, and then I can reuse this one over there. Okay. We don't need to use the other one then. Good. I gotta get this other one down though. Where's the thing that's supposed to be there? I'm trying to use only stuff that I have on hand at this point because this project is out of budget. So we really can't be going around buying more electrical devices. Got to use what I have on hand. No, this is the right one. Where is that bit that I was using earlier? That's the wrong one still too. Actually, no, we can use this one because that's what those screws are on the outside. Let me get this stupid cool white over here. Oh, that's ironic. It's the same box. That's a 5/8 as well. Or no, that's not a 5/8. That's a 3/4. That's funny. What ails this thing? Now this is where we can use this because that's technically what these screws are. this is the wrong size, I guess. But that's what these are. These are a square bit. Huh, it sure looks like it would have been the right size, but inherently it's not. Well, you can go for it in a bag. Do I have any other ones in here? I have this one, but that might be... I have this one. Let's try this one. That one's too big as well. You know, it really don't matter. We're going through all this to prove a concept. Just take it off with this. You can use the Phillips on these, but it's just not really the completely correct fit. Deal with this at the ground level because this is a very awkward angle to work at. We are going to reuse this outlet. Now look at these nice connections somebody did. Must have been a good electrician that put this in. I think the screw just fell. Now, what's really unfortunate here is that we're going to have to waste a couple of these staples. It's only 3, but I hate wasting materials. Okay, here's the 14.2. There's always plastic film everywhere. That was a totally reasonable thing to do. I'll prepare this as much as I can here on the ground where it's easy to work with, and then we'll take it over to the ceiling. There we go. That's what that fits. Sorry, that was probably very loud. I didn't realize how close that was to the microphone. Okay, so this is ready to go on the ceiling now. We got the wires ready. That's as much as I can do on the ground level here. Actually, that's cap. I can do more on the ground level. I can put the outlet, I can wire the outlet, I just can't install it. This has got like some silicone or something on there. It's kind of strange. Ow. That was a fatality. Not good.
now I've done everything I can do before putting it up, including get hurt. That doesn't normally happen. I'm usually pretty good about not getting injured on the job site. Okay, now this is going to be a problem. These screws are below the surface of the box there, as is the screw. Well, it's only cheap plywood. Hopefully it'll just kind of force its way through. It must have before. What the heck is all this stuff? Is that some type of mold? I don't think so, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay, now we have another challenge. We don't have the screws. And that's kind of bent. We can fix that and we can find screws, but it might not be easy to find the screws. That was easy enough to fix. But what about the screws? We have these two screws here, but we're going to need these again for this, because that's what he came with. Yeah, these go to that. I just gotta go hunting for some screws. I got some screws. I really have to just buy more of these screws because I have a lot of secondhand outlets and things that just don't have the screws, and it constantly becomes a problem. Oh, that's no good. That's got to be out of the way, otherwise it's not going to work. Just going to long out right away. Oh, that's a problem. It's hitting there. Just blast past that. Okay, so now, ironically, there's a bunch of old staples here. We have to take this around like this, over to there, and then it's got to go over those data lines. So at some point we got to estimate how much we're going to need and hope that we get it right. So the fan goes in this, so we've got it, this has to be able to go this has to go all the way back to there, and then all the way back to there, and then all the way back to here, 8 inches. We'll cut it here, and hopefully this is correct. Trying to get as many of these busted old staples out of here as possible. I don't think that they're all going to come out nicely, but we'll give it a shot. Try to make it look as good as we can. These have definitely been here for a long time. They're yellowed. Okay, this isn't going to be more difficult than I anticipated because they don't fit nicely into the removal part of the hammer. Oh, this might be more trouble than it's worth. I suspect what's happening here is the nail portion has rusted, which gives it a ridiculously strong grab inside the wood. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Safety fourth. But we'll get it. Now that I'm working, we don't really need this on anymore. I'm gonna save a couple dollars in the light bill. amazing how strong the bond of the nail gets when it's rusted in place. Okay, and here's where things are going to get interesting. This is the toughest one yet. Yeah, it's just snapping at this point. Try it with the vice grips, but I think it's just going to break off. Even this isn't getting it to budge. I think it's actually snapping. Yep, it just snapped. Well, at least it's off the surface. So I think I'm going to have to actually get up here and lay on the shelf again to put this in properly. freak show. That is such a strange fan. So this has to be in this bay, which means it's going to have to come along this side. I'm going to have to pull that light off of there and just kind of stick it on the sill. I guess that has to come down and change anyways, but I wasn't quite ready to do that yet. That was not part of this operation at all. Let's see, how can I reach? I guess I could do it from here without having to go up in there. We're going to put it where this wire is. This is to be canceled out. This is abandoned. It runs to that empty box over there. That is right where... it's right in the way though. I guess I'll put it underneath that so that that's easier to cancel out. Without messing with new work. And we'll have to cancel. I guess that's an old telephone line. Alright, we'll leave the rest there. That's enough to get that out of the way. We got enough slack here. This isn't even the wobbly stool. The floor is so uneven down here. One more staple to cancel back here. I wonder if it's going to be easier just to try to get up on the shelf. It might be. Let's see. Yeah, this is probably easier.
Ah, the nails are playing stupid. I hate when the nails do this. Nope, that's shot. No good. By no means is this comfortable, but I do think it's a little better than trying to lean over. It's bending already, I can tell. Why does it do that? I hate when it does that. Good. That time was good. Not quite, but it's gonna stay. All right, this is starting to get really uncomfortable. Okay, very glad that didn't bend. And this next one I think we'll do from the camera. Battery expired right when I was trying to get off that shelf. Fortunately, I didn't fall and the shelf didn't break. If it did after the battery just expired, I would have been very upset because the only good that would have come out of that would have been a video and it would have been lost. But fortunately, nothing bad happened, so it's fine. Okay, so now we're going to detach that light. Oh, this is not going to be a fun get here. How am I going to land this? I can't see where the... That's going the wrong direction. Shut up, I'm trying to make a video. I think if I can get that other staple out of there, I might be able to put this where I want it. Or not, I don't know. If I can just get it out of the way. That was a total fail. If I could just get it out of the way enough to put the wire, I guess that's really all that matters. Which I seem to be able to do. Yeah, that's pretty much where I want it. Okay, now how am I gonna put this in? And leave enough slack to be able to secure that and then move it around if need be. So I think right about there should be good. Pretty good estimate on the length. That's just about perfect. That poor lighting circuit is just destroyed right now. Spent a lot of time putting that in. Yeah, if I can loosen those enough to be able to slip that through, I'd like to be able to reuse those staples. These staples aren't cheap, and I hate wasting materials in general. I might be able to do that. All right, let me get this out of here. Use that. I'm gonna need one of those. Yeah, we'll probably need these too. We'll just grab these out of here. we can reuse this box somewhere else. So I don't want this to get all screwed up. Can reuse those parts for something else as well. That's wrong. Is that generally in line with the other one? Yeah, I think so. Now we got to check to see if it's clearing both of the shelves. Because I noticed that these things are not in exactly the same position everywhere. So we need 26 from here to the shelf. And we do not have that. So it has to move over. That's 28 right there. It almost has to be where those things are. Yeah, it's got to almost be exactly where these things are. Okay. Well, we'll have to just cancel them out. And if the building falls, it falls. Got to be able to install a ceiling fan. It's going to start cutting it close with the wire. Yeah, I guess not. I've canceled these things once or twice before, I think in the garage. So, and the garage has not fallen apart yet. I'm not too concerned about it.
they're not easy to cancel because you can't reach at the top. That was a little loud. They're nailed in up at the top. So the best you can do, I think I actually just flexed it back and forth a bunch of times and it eventually broke. Pretty sure that's how I got rid of the one in the garage. It broke. Okay. Next. It's gonna break any soon. It broke. Okay, now I can put it where it needs to be. We'll measure it again just to make sure that we're getting it right. Because I know that this does have enough distance. That's a total of 58 out of 52, but it is going to be close. So our 26 mark is right there. So yeah, I think it should be literally right in line with that. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right in line with that. We'll put it right there where that arrow already is. All right, I think that'll be our final position. Thought there were some screws on the floor there, but I guess they're not. Now, some people make fun of these long bits for some reason, but when you actually use them, you realize how fantastic they really are. These are excellent bits for most any ceiling fan related project. Not good. Got stripped out. Try to use a longer screw there. I just don't know how thick the floor is here. It's probably thicker than that. Yeah, grab something else. Okay. Well, this is carpet above here. It's not a wood floor. All right, that should be good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so this is gonna go like that. So we'll gotta cut gosh, gotta cut that now. Perfect length. And we're going to go ahead and strip that back now, because it's easier to work with it here than once it's in the box. Do everything to set yourself up for success as much as possible, including when doing work when working conditions are ideal. There's nothing ideal about this once this goes in the box.
I heard that normal people just put this in the trash can instead of cutting it up into small pieces to vacuum later.
But why be normal? All right, that's some quality work right there. Perfect. This can be seen, so make sure that's as level as possible. Okay, or the okay. Okay, so what's going to happen here is I think we'll use this as our bond for the box. So this wiring is going to join the light side of this 14.3 that comes in, and we'll pass the power over to that outlet. And then the black side of the 14.3, the red is switched for lights. The black side will be sit here for the fan. But we have to make sure that this light hookup is also going to have a feed for the fan. So I'll have to get some extra wire in here to make that junction. All right, this can come out. This is not useful in this particular situation anymore. Now let me see if I can get this out of here, and then I'm going to take a break to eat because I'm becoming the hungry. And then I guess I'll break this into parts. 2 parts. This is getting pretty long as it is. I've already gone through 1 battery, so we've got to be at least an hour and 20 in, I think. It looks like I
will be able to reuse these staples, which is nice. Set this out. Whoa, that was almost catastrophic in multiple ways. Ow. Alright, now this we can use for something else. This is a good piece of wire with a plug on it. Okay, nice. So now we've got our outlet here. So the only thing that's left to do over here is to put the hook in for the light and then hang it. Which we might actually go ahead and do that now, because then if I put this light in place, then I can put that light up here, and then I can kind of relax a little bit about things breaking, because I'm very nervous about that light and the bench breaking. So maybe we'll do that. So what I've been using is just use one of these. And we'll have to adjust the how the heck? Oh, that's hanging straight. I see. Oh, this one has to be kind of rewired, I think. It's very loose. All right, this needs a little more work than I thought. Well, okay, that's fine. Let's put this here, and then let me put this one up over here. Get this one out of the way with its incandescent bulb. And now I can put this one on the bench and work on it. Alright, I think I'm going to do a separate video for this, because this is a little bit more involved. We're going to have to take this off, and I wonder if we should just replace, right, might have to replace this wire, because I think it's been cut too short. So I'm going to cut this, or end this video here, so this will be part one of installing the lights. I'm going to do a separate video on this because there's actually a story behind this light. And then we'll do part two of this series, which will be hanging these two lights.